point up, or point down. A point down pentacle is nothing new, nor is it necessarily satanic, when it appears as such. Historical depictions of the pentagram were, as likely to be points down, as point up. A distinction between one or the other was rarely made by the ancients. Even today, one must not assume a point down pentagram is satanic, as it is just likely to be Masonic, Wiccan, or simply upside down. Some inexperienced Wiccans will occasionally claim that a point down pentacle is satanic, but such a symbol has at times represented the Wiccan horn god, and is still today an emblem of the second degree initiation in Gardnerian Wicca. The satanic pentagram. In the minds of many, the pentagram is inextricably linked with black magic and Satan worship. The satanic pentagram is a difficult symbol. It is the newest and least used, but at the same time the best known and most controversial. The satanic pentacle is almost always presented upside down, or inverted, with a single point facing downward, and it is this pentacle that is presented incorrectly as evil. The adoption of the pentacle as a satanic emblem is quite recent, dating only to the latter half of the 20th century. To the Satanist, this glyph is a representation of black magic, symbolizing the triumph of matter and individual desires over religious dogma, over an illusory promise of heaven. It is not analogous to the upturned cross, which is a symbol of rebellion against Christian culture, and is not anti-Wiccan. In modern satanic theology, the pentagram is far more likely to represent the individual, or the choice to pursue individual glory or immortality rather than union or absorption with the divine, where some traditions advocate the sublimation of the ego or submission to God. Satanism exalts and glorifies it, deifying the human being. The symbol most commonly associated with satanic practices is the Sabbatic goat or goat of men's pentacle, often confused with Baphomet, a figure from Templar legend, and Pan, the Greek goat god. It rarely has any deeper meaning, an irony when one considers that its association with Satanism has made the pentagram a feared symbol to many, and the subject of countless conspiracy theories. The goat's head. The goat itself is related to medieval superstitions about the behavior of witches, who were often depicted dancing with or riding on goats, who often represented Satan himself. The goat in that context is often seen as an ironic symbol of sexual repression, the association being a clear allusion to the unrestrained sexuality represented by this ancient fertility symbol, so one can't see why the symbolism might appeal to modern Satanists, as a symbol of freedom from sexual and religious taboos. Goat Pentacle by Oswald Worth. The pentagram in Freemasonry. In Freemasonry and related traditions, the pentagram is usually referred to as the blazing star, and in addition to more traditional Pythagorean symbolism, is sometimes symbolic of the descent of the divinity of Christ into the world of matter, a remnant of Masonry's ties with medieval Christian Kabbalah and Hermetic tradition. In this, it represents the Star of Bethlehem. Freemasonry emphasizes Pythagorean geometry in its system of allegorical symbology, and as the pentagram was the chief of the Pythagorean symbols, it is not at all surprising to find it among Masonic symbols. Even so, it is still a relatively minor symbol in Freemasonry, and largely ignored in today's lodges. The Masonic use of the pentagram has nevertheless provided endless fodder for conspiracy-minded evangelicals who see its use as proof of a vast satanic Masonic network. Many absurd connections have been made between the satanic pentagram and the Masonic star by enthusiastic conspiracy theorists, who fail to note that the first association of the reversed pentacle with evil is a relatively recent attitude adopted long after Masons had been using the star without controversy for a very long time. The 19th century magical scholar Eliphas Levi is the first known to have vested the downward pointing pentacle with any real negative meaning, elaborating perhaps on Bruno's earlier claims. It was not until the mid-20th century that Levi's men's pentacle was adopted as an emblem of modern Satanism. No satanic or black magic group is known to have used a pentagram before then, and even the oldest representations of black masses and other satanic activities contain no pentagrams. Scottish Rite degree emblem. The pentagram of the founders. Surprisingly, the pentagram also plays an important part in the symbology of the early United States government, a fact not lost on the conspiracy theorists, of course. Many of the founding fathers were Freemasons, to whom the pentagram is an important symbol. The five-pointed star appears in much of our early iconography.